Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, today is the day that is going to happen. Today is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. You know that thing that you was waiting for, that prayer that you have been praying of, that thing that you've been praying about for seem like forever. Today is the day. Today is August the 30th, the last Friday in the month of August, a day that we will never see again in the year 2024. We will never see this day again. So why not come into the day with rejoicing and thanksgiving, with a gracious heart and an open mind to receive the goodness of everything that God has for us. So today is the day. Today is that day, you know. Today is the day for greatness. Today is the day to let things go. Because when we talk again, if it's God's will, we will be in a new month. This month it came and it's on its way out. And I thank God for his grace. And I thank God for being so merciful, from letting me see August 1st to seeing August 30th. You know, it's almost over. It is almost over. And not only that, today is Friday. Yes, Friday. Oh boy, we made it. We made it. We made it. And for the people that's working, just exhale. Oh, it's Friday. Even if you do have to work tomorrow, it's Friday today. It's Friday today. Today is Friday. And it's just something about Friday. And I remember when I was working, and Friday came, and it was just something about Friday that I could get up in the morning. Not only was it like, well, Thursday was payday for me because I was in the in Publix credit union. So I always got my check a day early. But it was just something about when I went to work on Friday. It was the excitement about the weekend and seeing people come in the store on Friday, for lunch or to pick up a sub, in the mornings for their lunch. And, they were just so happy, so giddy, not only because they were getting paid later, already done dropped in your account. Good morning. I am her. Good morning. Thank you for being here with me this morning. It is just the idea of knowing I don't have to get up tomorrow morning. I can go out and do whatever I want to do Friday night and relax on Saturday and Sunday, do whatever to prepare myself to go back to work. But you don't even think about going back to work that Monday. You just enjoy that Friday. It's just something about Friday. So, baby, it's the weekend. It's the beginning of the weekend. So rejoice in that. Rejoice, and be happy in that. Today is Friday. Woo, child. I haven't worked since COVID. And it's something for me, even when Friday gets here, I'm excited about Friday myself. Well, it's just knowing when Friday comes, I normally would, even when I had when my kids were growing up, I would get off from work on Fridays and wouldn't cook. We always would either get barbecue or go to Long John Silver's or wherever. Oh, excuse me. wherever they wanted to go and eat. I would just take, if one wanted to go here and the other one wanted to go there and I wanted barbecue, that's what we had. And I would just um allow them to do whatever. And when I wanted my house to be deep clean, I would just clean my house myself instead of arguing with somebody about your room ain't clean enough. Clean up your room and wash the dishes. I would just, that's your room, and if you comfortable in that room looking like that, then okay, just let it be. However, on Fridays, everybody knew on Fridays the house that was like clean up day. So Saturday you didn't have to do nothing. I get up, I make breakfast, we watch. Everybody had a TV in their room, but everybody wanted to congregate in my room. So me and my daughter either in bed, watching whatever it is my son wanted to watch, and it's usually, some kind of uh He-Man stuff, or he was in his room or in the living room playing a game on the TV in the living room. So that's what we normally did on Saturday and Sunday. Everybody know it's church day, so that's what that was. But it's just something about Friday. That person that get on your last nerve at work, you even kind of like them a little bit on Friday. You because I ain't got to see this witch no more until Monday. It is just something about Fridays. And thank God it's Friday for all the working people. You made it. 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 And for the children that's going to school, I bet, my children, it was something about Fridays that they could get up and without me, say, I'm not saying it one more time. If I got to say it one more time, y'all walking to school. You're walking to school. If you miss that bus, you better call somebody, but you better not call me. And if that means you got to walk or catch the city bus, you better go ahead on. I ain't calling you not one more time. Didn't have to call them no more on Fridays. They up like they got a job, but they did have a job. School was their job. It is Friday. It is Friday, y'all. I'm happy for you. I'm happy. I'm happy I'm here. And I'm happy for the people that's working. I'm happy for the people who got the weekend, who got Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. This is going to be a long weekend because Labor Day is Monday. Labor Day, September 1st, September 2nd is Labor Day. So there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be off, and then there's going to be a lot of people that's working. But either way, it's a long weekend. And for the people that have to work on Labor Day, that's time and a half if you get paid, if you get it like that. Yes, ma'am, we made it. And it is good morning, Doris Brown. Yes, it's a holiday weekend. So I want everybody to be safe out there this weekend. I want you to have boatloads of fun. I want you to be with family. I want you to be with friends. I just want you to have a good time because you deserve it. You worked hard all week. You got a lot of things done this week. So you deserve it. So go out there, have fun, be safe, have a barbecue, have a fish fry, go to the beach, do whatever it is that you do. And if you don't want to do nothing but just lounge around all day long, do that. Do that. Just have fun. Because you know why? This is the day that the Lord has made. And every morning that you get up, it's a celebration. You should get up every morning celebrating because God, I'm in the mindset every morning I wake up. I say, Lord, you made this day just for me. You made this day just for me. And I'm learning how to have a different attitude. Sometimes I don't feel my best getting up in the morning. And, and this morning, as usual, the clock went off at 3:45. And I laid there and I said, you know what? I just don't feel like I just don't feel like it. So I rolled back over, picked up my phone, rolled back over. And then when I woke up again, it was 5:45. I went to sleep about 11. Yeah, I went to sleep a little after 11 because I was watching that football game. It is football season. Football season has officially started. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Mildred. Thank you guys for being here with me this morning. And thank you for the people that's watching. Before I really get deep down in it, I thank everybody for being here. I pray that you've hit that like and that share button. And if you're not a subscriber, I ask you to subscribe to the channel because this is a feel good channel. When you get off of here in the morning, my prayer and my hope for each and every one that you could walk a little bit further with your head up and your chest out, that you'll feel better about something that I've said, what made you have feel better today to make you feel like I can go on a little while longer. I can hold on. I pray that you see the world in color, not in black and white. So that's my prayer. Hit that like and share button. And if you haven't subscribed, also be a subscriber. And if you don't want to subscribe, it's okay. Just hit the like and share button, and I welcome you anyway. Because here, I ain't here for the mess. That's not what we do. That's not what I do over here. I want to encourage everybody. I want you to have the best life possible. And yes, I am going to talk about God. Yes, I'm going to talk about God because if it wasn't for him, it would not be a me. So that's that. All of that is out the way. And last night I was watching that football game with North Dakota and um, Colorado Buffaloes. And the reason why I like Colorado is because Deion Sanders is homegrown. Deion Sanders is from the great state of Florida and from the fair city of Fort Myers. And I like to listen to him talk. I like to listen to his interactions, not only with his sons, but also with all the players on the football team. And a lot of his quotes and stuff that he be saying, sometimes I write them down so I can, incorporate them in my life and, impart some of that wisdom into other people. And so I was watching that game last night and when you watch football, you have your highs and the lows, and then it's just a array of emotions when I'm watching football. And my granddaughter, she is this is her senior year, so she been doing something all through high school. She's either cheering or she's dancing. So this year she's dancing. So that means I have to go to the football games to watch her dance. Went to football games to watch her cheer. Went to football games to watch her get crowned princess. Went to football games because her mom was at that time in ninth grade. Her mom was working and couldn't make it to some of her football games. So the games that she could make it to, Nana had to step in. It was a pleasure for me to step in and to let her know wherever I am in that football stadium, she either gonna see me or she gonna hear me. So yeah, it's football season everywhere in the United States. And if you got a child, a grandchild, a nephew, or a little cousin out there, um, watching football, playing football, that's in the band, that's a cheerleader or a dancer, please, or a person that with the flag or whatever it is, the color guard, whatever. Please, 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 please take it upon yourself. If you cannot make it to every game, please, please take it upon yourself to just go to some of the games and watch how their faces light up when they see you at their games. It's a Friday night and you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here, watch me play my instrument, watch me dance, watch me cheer, watch me, watch me do what, watch me work at the concession stand. Just knowing that a parent, that a family member is there, it does so much for a child's morale. And my granddaughter, and when she began high school, and she was a cheerleader, and she was voted ninth grade princess. It was just me, her mom, her godfather, her god mama, and her godmother's grandson was at a higher grade, and that we had that little group. So it was about 10 of us, we were all sitting together. And when they called her name as ninth grade princess, you would have thought everybody in the stadium knew this girl, because the way yay, Miss J, yay, Lady J, yay. And my daughter's like, that's my daughter, that's my baby, that's my baby. And I said, that's my grandbaby, that's my grandbaby. And her godparents was like, yay, that's my godbaby, that's my godbaby. And it was, and people, and after the game, my granddaughter was saying, she was saying, people were saying, oh, Jay, you got a lovely family, you got a beautiful family. They so wild. They were just so wild in the stand when your name was called. And that's what, to give our kids that encouragement, to give our kids that fortitude to just keep going, to edify and uplift our children. Yes, Mildred, support is everything for our kids. And even your little grandkids in kindergarten and first, at first in elementary and in middle school, it is so important that we be there. Even when we don't want to be there, it's important just to be there. When my granddaughter was growing up, I used to go out, and every month I would go have lunch with her. I would bring her lunch, and we would sit and we would eat and we would just talk, and all the other children just be staring and stuff like that. And then if it was her birthday or something, I would bring like cupcakes for the whole class. Or even if it wasn't her birthday, just pop in sometime when I was raising her, pop in sometime with donuts and cupcakes, and always wanted to participate and show my support. It is so important. Even my little ones now, um, that's in elementary school, I'm going to have to start doing all of that stuff all back over again, because I want them to also see that the importance is, it's family is important. We go through stuff, we fuss and we fight. I done heard the old people say teeth and tongue fall out, but at the end of the day, when your mouth is closed, they still together. They still together. And I'm an only child, so I don't know the dynamics of a brother and a sister relationship. However, I see with my youngest and my middle child, they have a unshakable bond. And she thinks she the mama, she thinks she the boss of everybody, including me sometimes. Then I have to make her, hey girl, pump your brakes. I birthed you, you didn't birth me. That sort of thing. But and her and Hakeem used to fight so much, and he would cry, and I would get so angry with him for crying, and he would tell her stop hitting me. I say, boy, you better go and hear her bite. But when Hakeem got about like 12, that's when he started hitting the bank. And the Mama Hakeem hit me. Well, didn't you hit him? Y'all keep me out of that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. But y'all, today is Friday. And yes, I did my reading this morning. And one thing that stood out to me, I was reading, one of my readings was from Ephesians 4. And it was talking about, and I talked about this yesterday, and I don't read whatever's going to happen for tomorrow, the devotional for the next day. I don't read that. So, I did not know some of what I talked about yesterday is in today's reading. It's talk in Ephesians 4, it's talking about putting on the new man, you know, um, We got two natures, right? We have that old nature, and that new nature, that what we're the bond that we're forming, the relationship that we're forming with God, that changes us. Like I always say, they talk about looked at my hands, they was new, looked at my feet, and they were too. I didn't see no change. And then the change came when I allowed the relationship with God to build, to blossom, to grow. And when the relationship with God blossomed and it would start growing, I started seeing a change in myself. I started looking at my hands, they look new, and I started looking at my feet, and they did too. So then I understood what they were saying. By and by, change is going to come. However, how it does not matter how much change come, that old nature is still there. That old nature is still there. And sometime there's a war going on. You could be fighting with yourself, and the worst battle to ever be in is a battle within yourself. A battle within yourself is when you know what's right. You know what's right. You know what you're doing is wrong. You know what you're saying is wrong. But that old nature wants to take over. And sometimes we allow that old nature to take over. Sometimes I do allow that old nature to take over, because I can curse. Oh my God, I can curse. I can curse. During the time when I was doing the tea party, getting going through all the emotions and the changes with that tea party, it just had me all discombobulated. And one day I said some cuss words. Ooh, I put together some cuss words. And yes, I did put together some cuss words. And my friend was on the other end. She said, "Ooh, child." She said, "I ain't never heard you talk like that." She said, "I don't never want to hear you talk like that again." And she said, "You feel better now?" And I felt so bad, but it was so much stuff in me that I needed to get out, that, I didn't have to curse like that, but that seemed like that's the only way I would feel better. And after that, things would happen with that tea party. People would say little stuff about, "Oh, I'm gonna see how it's gonna look," and this, that, and the other. And it just made me so angry. And if it wasn't for the grace of God, and for God using my friend to keep me calm, because it was a lot of times I was finna say, "You know what? The hell with this. Let them do it. They run in their mouth. Let them do it." And my friend, that's not what we doing today. So I thank God for using her to help me, because that old nature was getting ready. It wasn't getting ready to pop out. That old nature was popping out. And I was saying, "Lord, this is not of you." And then when I sat down and I had a conversation with God, and God just told me, "Do what you do. Do all that you can do. Don't worry about what they say. Don't worry about what them is saying. What I'm saying. Who word are you going to believe? Who are you going to believe? What they say or what I'm saying?" So which side are you going to choose? Which side you going to choose? And so I chose to be on the winning team. I chose to be on God team. And when I allowed God to do what God was doing to me about that tea party, baby, when that tea party, the day that tea party came, that Saturday morning, when the doors was open for everybody to see not what I had done, but saw what the Lord had done through me. Nobody couldn't say nothing but, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful. This is so nice. Oh, Marita, you did a beautiful job." They just couldn't stop blushing. Oh, and every time somebody said, "Well, who did it?" "Oh, that was Marita and her team. She did that. That was the decorating team." So, sometimes we war inside of ourselves, and that's the worst battle that you could be in. And when you know right, you do right. When you know better, do better. That's all I'm saying. And don't let that old man override that new person that you're becoming. You might just start walking with God. I'm telling you, it ain't hard, but it ain't easy either. It ain't easy. because everything and everybody gonna want to come out at you, and the things that you used to do, you still want to do them. So this morning, when I was reading in Ephesians, it was saying it was more or less telling us to learn how to build each other up and not tear each other down. And the question was asked, how do we build a person up? How do we build a person up? And the way it was answered, it said, how do we build a person up? And then it said, first, think of how we tear a person down by harsh criticism, negative comments, discouraging or disparaging words. So, how would we build a person up? By encouraging words, helpful action, motivational or nourishing speech according to the needs of the moment. The goal is to impart grace to the hearer, which means to benefit the person rather than corrupt the person. You know, in tearing down a person, and this go for me too, you never know what this person is going through mentally, psychologically, or physically. You never know what a person is going through. And to hear harsh words, to hear disparaging words, just to hear a person just tearing you down, and hurtful harsh words, mean vindictive ways and words, just putting your foot on a person's neck and just keeping it there. You never know what you're doing to that person's psyche. You don't know what you're doing to their esteem. You don't know, you don't know if a person, what the person is on the verge of doing, because that maybe they don't have the strength that you have. Maybe they're weak in the areas that you feel like you are so strong and nobody can touch you in. And the same way, and I had to sit back and think about that thing, you know, by talking about people, giving my opinion about people. And everybody has one, and we all are entitled to our opinion. We don't have to tear a person down with our opinion. If you don't like a person and you don't find nothing earthly good about that person, you ain't got to let the whole world know you don't like that person. If you don't like them, you just don't like them. But I have learned, and I'm learning to take God word, to heed God word, and to believe God word, because God said everything that I made was good. Excuse me. And then again, He said everything I made is good and very good. So that whatever, I'm one of those whatever. And what changed me was one Sunday in Sunday school. I was sitting behind the lady, and this lady said, it ain't no, in some people, it ain't no earthly good. And I felt her. In the back of, I could feel in the back of my neck getting red, because I felt the shade that she was saying, that I was no earthly good. And this was coming from a person sitting in church confessing to be Christ-like. And she don't understand how that made me feel. And I did not, because I'm still a babe in Christ, and I'm still learning the ways of Christ, and that, and not just go off. Cause see, my first instinct, the old me, my first instinct was to turn around and look at her and say, and who would you be talking about? Because when we know something about a person, when we know things about people, we try to use that against them. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, I know her daughter was a hoe out there in the streets. You could talk about everybody, and you talk about everybody and their mamas, but you don't know that I know your daughter is a whore out there having babies for married men. She didn't know that I knew that. And my first instinct, that old nature, wanted to turn around and look at her and tell her just what I said. But I didn't. I stayed focused on what was being said in the front of me because I didn't, I wanted that relationship with God. I wanted to be renewed and refreshed because it's so easy to revert back to what I was and to be how I was. And instead of, and after a while, I didn't talk to this lady a lot. However, after a while, we started talking. I never brought up what she said and stuff like that, but you would have thought me and this lady was bestest friends. You would have thought that we were bestest friends. And we always got to look for opportunities every day to impart grace to somebody by using uh words that's gonna uplift, words that's gonna edify, words of encouragement, to help somebody go on through their day. Because we don't know what a person be going through when we be running our mouth and we be saying stuff about people. We don't know what these people like on these reality shows and stuff like that. We only see what these people allow us to see. In real life, don't know what none of these people are going through, but they are playing a role to make you think that everything is okay in their life. And it may be. Everything may be good in their life. And then, things may be topsy turvy. They're going to show us what they want us to see. And then, I'm finding myself less and less want to watch these shows anymore because there's so much negativity. There's so much vile, it's so, oh, it's just so either on you this side or on you that side. And if you don't think like me and if you don't talk like me, then you ain't got good sense. You ain't sane. You're not a critical thinker. You're not this. And I always, been an independent thinker. Ain't nobody never told me what to think or what to say. My mama had issues with me because she said, Marita, you always, you know what? Whatever's on your mind, come out your mouth. And my daddy said, baby, sometimes you got to think before you speak. Think before you speak because your words can hurt somebody. My mama told me, she said, Marita, your word, you got a very lethal tongue. Your mouth. Your mouth is very lethal. You don't care what you say out your mouth. You don't care how you say it out your mouth. You don't care if you hurt a person feeling. It's just you say something, and that's just the way it is. She said, baby, that ain't how it go. That's not how it go. She said, because the words that you put on somebody else, those words will come right back to you. And as I grew, I started understanding and I started seeing. So we got to learn how to build each other up. We talk about this Black unity. We talk about this sisterhood. We talk about that all the time. We talk about it. But if I'm not in your group, I'm not part of your group, I'm not part of your clique, then it's fruitful because you're gonna put me down. You're gonna say, oh, I thought she would, and I hear this all the time. Um, and she say she Christian and she call herself a Christian. And one things come to me at different times and different places, and sometimes and God will drop something in my spirit, and it was like I heard, like the Holy Spirit said, you don't call yourself a Christian, so why you getting upset and mad when people be talking about, and you call yourself a Christian? The Holy Spirit said, you are a Christian. You are a Christian. So don't you get angry with people saying that. Don't get angry. So I had to I had to learn, and I am learning not to get upset when people say things about me because my daughter often reminds me, Ma, you can't get mad now because you talk about people too. And Ma, sometimes you talk about people real bad. And when I say, yeah, you right. You right. So I don't get upset when people say things about me. I don't get upset, when people try to use my past against me because the people who know me know I don't really care. The people who really, really know me, they know I don't care because I talk about my past. So you can't use my past against me. And a lot of people who know me don't talk about my past too much because they know I was there and I saw some of the things that they were doing and stuff. And I heard some of the things that they were saying. So, when I hear people say things like that, I just tend not to, you know, not to worry about it. So, good morning, Lady B. So, we're going to have to learn how to build each other, even if you don't like a person. Even if you don't like a person and you ain't got nothing good to say about that person, don't say nothing. It's just easy not to say anything if you don't like a person instead of tearing them down, all little bald head, scallywag, ain't got no edges, and this, that, and the other. I don't know what nobody got under their wig, but I know I got all my edges. So I am a person that I'm 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 scared to say things about people sometimes because I feel like when I say something negative towards a person, God is going to afflict me with some kind of punishment. So I'm learning how to keep my mouth off people. Now, I will give my opinion on something, but my opinion is not an opinion to tear someone down. And and after each one of my devotionals, it always have a little saying under the bottom. And this one just stuck out. It said, "Whatever moves the heart wags the tongue. Whatever is in your heart, it'll come out your mouth. You could tell what's in your heart, but by the way you speak." Miss Marita, how do you deal with people who always throw up our past? I'm hurt. Let me tell you this right here, sweetheart. I'm gonna tell you just like this. Do you know your past? Do you know your past? If you know what your past is, never allow someone to keep bringing that up because you already know what your past is. And I tell people this, and y'all forgive me for what I'm getting ready to say, and God, please forgive me for what I'm about to say. Your past is just like your ass. Your ass is behind you. That's you have to look back at your ass. Now, if you keep looking back at your ass is behind you, just like your past. Your past is behind you. Your present and your future is before you. So you have to put people in their place regardless of what their past is. Because, I see some people, girl, I remember when. I said, you know what? I remember when too, but see, I don't allow nobody to go no further than that. You could bring up my past much as you want to. It does not affect me. And you have to get to a point to where people say something about your past. They keep bringing your past up. They still there. You're not there anymore. You are not there anymore. You are in your present and you're looking forward to a bright, glorious future. So don't allow anyone to bring that up. If they want to talk about your past, let them get with another group of people that want to talk about your past and let them have a fun time being back there in the past, baby, because you got a bright future and your present is ever so bright. So, no, you don't worry about people when they bring up and the way you deal with that, if you have overcame your past, whatever it was, if you have overcame that affects you no longer. Because see, my past, I done told everybody about my past. I done told you about the shooting the dope, smoking the dope, popping the pills, stealing, robbing, busting people in the head with my damn pistol, going to prison, going to jail, sleeping in cars, going without food. I done told people all about that. So nobody can hold that against me because now where I am, God know right exactly where I am at an exact moment. He know everywhere I am. God know about your past and he still loves you. And keep in mind, if nobody gives a damn about you, God do. And long as God loves you and God knows you and God see you and God keep moving you and elevating you to higher and higher ground, God got a plan for you. Now, and I'm gonna ask you this: who report are you gonna listen to? Are you gonna listen to theirs? Or are you gonna listen to God's? And if you're gonna listen to theirs, you're gonna always be in bondage. You're gonna be always worrying about what they say. But when you start listening to what God say, it said, "For God so loved the world." If God so loved the world, you part of that world that God loved. He gave His only Son just for you, just for you. So it matters not what people say because you can't stop them from talking. And see, some of the people that know your past, don't forget, you know theirs too. You know theirs too. But see, you choose not to bring that up. Walk in the light. Walk in the light, the marvelous light. Don't ever give people control over your emotions because when you start allowing people to control your emotions, they are controlling you. If go in your house and look at your thermostat, that thermometer don't go up or go down unless you touch it. Don't be the thermostat. Don't be the thermometer. Don't be the thermostat. The thermometer just letting people just get hot. They put it on 71, 72, 73. Get cold. They put it on 78. They just flicking they just putting you up and down, being like a light switch, turning you on, turning you off. Don't ever give anybody that control over your life. Don't do that. And even, girl, I'm gonna tell you something. My feelings have been hurt. Oh God, my feelings have been hurt. And I thank God for where I am now. Because you know what? My feelings have been hurt. And the first thing I want to do is retaliate. But then I hear God say, vengeance is mine. Leave it alone. I got this. I got this. And I have to find something to calm me down. I used to get on the phone and talk to my daughter, and I said, you know what? That she give me some good advice and stuff like that. And that's all good. But then I have to go into my 39:27. That's the Bible, the 39 books of the Old Testament and 27 books of the New Testament. And I have to go in my Bible and read something. And sometimes when I can't even focus, I have to turn my Bible app on. And I just say, Lord, whatever you want me to hear, you choose what you want me to hear. You choose what I need to hear. And I turn my Bible app up and something will pop up and I'll be pitter pattering around in the house trying to just get in a place where to sit still so God could calm me down. And baby, when then a word will come on, and then it'd be something about like the Lord is my light and my salvation. Let not your heart be troubled. Love. When it get to that part about love your enemies, I have to stop and I have to say, whoa, wait a minute, hold up, back up, stop, pump the brakes, do whatever you got to do. Lord, you telling me to love these people that's talking about me? God said that He said that's what we got to do. We got to love them. And then when you start listening to God's word, and sometimes turn on Pandora and find you some gospel music to listen to. Baby, I'm gonna tell you, whatever you need, God know when you need it and how you need it to come. I have been going through things sometimes, getting ready to go to church, going through things. My mind is all over the place. And I turn on Pandora and a song will come on. And then another song will come on. And then another song will come on. And then when I'm feeling like I ain't haven't accomplished anything in my life, be talking about, Lord, I ain't got this. I should have this. I'm this old and I ain't got this. I should have this because I'm this old. Then Marvin Sapp will come on. He said, he saw the best in me when everyone else can only see the worst in me. And songs like that, baby, I'm gonna tell you, Try very hard to make sure I hear Marika word. Oh wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mildred. Because I'm gonna tell you something. When you done been through life and you done and I'm gonna tell you, I have Anthony used to say, "Ooh, this lady got a story for everything." But now he said, "Auntie," he said, "I understand." He said, "I understand now. You done been through life. You done been through a lot of stuff, and I have." And I just, people go through things, and then if somebody is going through something, and most of the time, all you need to hear is a word of encouragement, a word that can just push you to let you know you ain't in this by yourself. So, sweetheart, don't never, ever, 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 ever allow someone to use your past against you. Your past is just that, your past. And you are so welcome. You are so welcome. That's what the past is. It's the past. You can't go back there and change that. There, you cannot go back into 19 whatever, 2000 and whatever and change none of that. All you can do now in the year 2024 is be a better version of who you was, who you were, because I'm sure you're not who you was. You're a better version of who you was back then. And every day just strive to be better than, yesterday. I'm striving today to be better than I was yesterday. And every day I try to be better than the day before. Or the yesterday, it's gone. Just like your past, it's gone. So don't let nobody else bring your past up, sweetheart. Do not ever allow nobody to bring your past up. And if they do, don't feel bad about your past. I don't feel bad about my past. I'm not embarrassed by my past because my past is what made me the person that I am today. My past made me the woman that I am today. My past strengthens me. My past does not weaken me. It strengthens me. I got broad shoulders. I told y'all I call myself big back because now oh, just sitting here sometimes just eat. But I kid with myself. I make fun of myself. So by somebody else doing it, it does not affect me. And don't give somebody your time, the time that God has allowed it you. Just like I say every morning, this is the day God gave us. This day, ain't nobody else can do what God can do for us. God gave me this day. So, do you honestly think? And I tell people, in your rabbit ass mind, do you think I'm gonna allow you to determine the outcome of my day? But that comes with knowing who you are and whose you are. Did I just get like this overnight? No. I had to work on being the person that I am today. So I hope I said something that helped you, help anybody, that's listening, that's going through something by being teared, by people tearing you down. That's why I do this. And that's why I say, what, it's going to be times when there's nobody going to be around that can pat you on the back. There's nobody that's going to be around that's going to encourage you. You're going to have to learn how to be your own cheerleader. Speak encouraging words to yourself. Speak beautiful words to yourself. Speak love and life to yourself. You know what? I love Jennifer Lewis. And Jennifer Lewis, and I got this thing saved on my it's somewhere on one of my clouds on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere. I got it saved. And she said, in the mornings, I get up, I wash my face, and I brush my teeth, and I look in the mirror and I say, "You pretty bitch." Sometimes you have to talk to yourself like that. I do that to myself. And I said, and sometimes you know, that old nature want to pop up and say, "Girl, you 66 years old. You should have had a home. You should have had this. You should have had that." Then I get caught up in that, and I be saying, yeah, I should have had my own home. I should be married. Should be having a two car garage, a 4 bedroom house. You know, living on an acre of land. You know, with my grandchildren and all that coming. That wasn't the will of God. I'm where God want me to be. God know exactly where I am. You know, and I'm doing exactly what God would have me to do. So instead of speaking, you know, bad things on myself. I wake up in the morning. I'd be so happy to wake up in the morning. I'd be so happy to wake up in the morning. I go to bed sometimes feeling so sick, and you know, it comes from me sitting here sometimes. And God let me see what it is. So sometimes I be so scared I don't lay down flat in the bed. I prop the pillows up. So it's like I'm scared if I lay down, I ain't gonna wake up. But then when I wake up, however, when I wake up in the morning, I get up and say, "Oh, thank you, God, for the day before my feet hit the floor. I'm already thanking God." So, do you honestly think I'm gonna allow something or someone? Yeah, things come, and it knocks me. It knocks me. It has me. It, you know, like that flight you see in front of some building where the man be going all kind of ways and stuff like that. It have me like that sometimes. But then every now and then you'll see that little man stand still. And then I have to say, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Marita. Then I have to talk to myself. Self be saying, Marita, I be saying, huh? It say, girl, you remember that time, that last time you was all discombobulated and you ain't know which way to go. You ain't know how you was gonna do it. You ain't know where your next meal was coming from. You ain't know nothing. Then boom, all of a sudden you got a call and say you got the job. Boom, yeah. If you could come in and sign the lease, you got the apartment and stuff like that. So I think about what God has done. I think about what God is doing, and I give God a thanksgiving praise, shout for and advance praise for what's getting ready to go. You know, rain gonna come, storms gonna come, and sometimes it feels like a tsunami. Sometimes it feels like a tsunami. However, I am learning how to stand on the word of God and not be moved by what people say about or even think about what people think about me, because this morning in Isaiah 25 I was reading about the protection of God. Even though God, it says like God is a shelter, God is a secure shelter, and God shelter us. It's not that we're not going to go through things. It's not that things are not going to, we're not going to get sick. We're not going to have heartache. We're not going to have pain. We're not going to, have despair. However, just knowing the fact that God is a keeper of his word. God has given us so many promises that I never leave you nor forsake you, that I be here with you, and even at the end, I'm still gonna be here with you. And just knowing that God, God is defending and protecting and shielding me, you know. I always have to keep that in my head, in my mind. And when things come up, ain't it catches me by surprise, but it don't catch God by surprise. God know all about it. He's an all knowing, all seeing God. So when we're going through things, just know, from things seen and unseen, God has kept me from things that I have seen and don't understand. I remember I was so high one time. Me and my I had my first child, and those first ones, the mama and the daddy, they always take over. parenting and stuff like that. So that's what I let mine do. And I with my friends, we were riding bicycles and having a good time. It was in the winter time. So if you're from Florida, the winters in Florida, well, the winters down here in South, in my Southwest Florida, it ain't too cold. We'll have we might have a good week of cold where it get down maybe in the 40s or the 50s or something like that. And so we were out riding the bicycles and we had just took some Quaaludes and we had been smoking some weed and we were riding the bicycle. So they got across the street. So you know how you driving sometime and you guesstimate that I can make it across the street or I can make it and this car ain't gonna hit me. I'm looking at this car and this car looking at me and I'm looking at the car and the car looking at me. So the car, I just should have just went on down, cross the street when the car was far by. I wait till the car get almost right there and the car blowing, boom, boom, boom. And now I'm scared on the bicycle, scared, I'm froze. And all I can ask when I get out across the street, oh Lord, did the car hit me? Did the car hit me? God was keeping me then when I was in my druggedness, when I was in a haze, haze from the drugs and stuff like that. God was keeping me when I was out there robbed, hit, stealing and trying to rob somebody. God was with me then. God was with me when I had that needle in my arm, when I had that crack pipe to my mouth. God was with me. God was with me even then. So God have protected me from things that I have seen and a lot of things that I don't know nothing about. God heard the conversation, God heard the plot, and God sheltered me from that. So I choose to be on the winning team. That's the team I'm on. I'm on that team that I know with the sureness who got me. I know for sureness that my past is not going to be God not looking at my past, God looking at my heart. And when there's something that's in my heart that is not of God, God chastises me. He said, I chastise the ones I love. And for a while that I really thought God really was in love with me because I felt like God every time I did something. I felt like God was on me like white on rice. And I started questioning that. And I started saying, don't love me like that. When your mama, see, like your mama, when you're growing up, your mama beat you for everything. And then it had a nerve to talk about the audacity to say, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't, don't love me like that. But now I understand. I understand. So the things that I was doing, I didn't do it no more because I didn't want to get no whooping. And and that's how it is with God with his chastising. And nobody see your dad and Mike could come and get your mama and say, Zakia, that's enough. Baby, that's enough. Don't hit her no more. See, my daddy could say that. But when God is doing, can't nobody go to God and say, God, that's enough. When God get tired, when God says enough, then God don't get tired. When God says enough, then that's the only person could tell God is himself. Okay, I think you might be done learned your lesson. So um yeah, yeah. You know, when I'm reading in the mornings, it just brings back so much. And yes, Doris, God has plans for all our lives. And we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. And if you don't know what that purpose is, ask God what your purpose is. Seek God to find what your purpose is. I also, oh yeah, you sure do. Sometimes it don't be nobody but me, you, and the people in the congregation. But that's all right, long as you get the word. And I'm glad and I am thankful for you. She opened her YouTube page on live. That's how I get the word. The word. Oh wow! Thank you, thank you, thank you. I try very hard to make sure. Okay, want to thank you. I thank everybody, for being here. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. At first, when I started this first, second, and when I started this YouTube thing, you know, I started out with a whole lot of people, and then they started dwindling, 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 dwindling. And so, I was upset, got, not upset, not mad, but get kind of nervous, get kind of afraid. But then I had to realize everybody's not. This conversation is not for everybody. What I'm talking about is not for everybody because everybody is not going through something. And then people who are going through something, they handle it the way they handle it. And the people that come here is the ones that God has directed here. That's the way I feel. And eventually one day, hopefully, prayerfully, my channel would, people would tune in, not to see if I'm going to talk about bull crap, but just to get a word, just to be uplifted, because I'm gonna tell you, the world is tearing us apart. We are tearing each other apart. We get $2 more than we ever had, and then we think we somebody. Then we want to look down on the people who ain't got but 50 cents. So, the word is so true and the word is so clear. I'm gonna tell you, if you ever just sit down and read the Bible, just go in Galatians, go in Philippians. Philippians tells us I can do all things through Christ Jesus that strengthens me. Galatians tells us about the fruit of the spirit: meekness, kindness, love, long suffering. It tells us all about that. And if you ever just sit down and think about some of the things that you have been through and just look back at some of the things that you've been through and look where you are now and just think, and you don't know how you got here. You don't know how you made it. Sometimes you think because you're on that job is the one that got you that beautiful home, got you that beautiful car, got you all them pretty clothes, the purses, the shoes, the belts, all of that. It was by the grace of God. Everything you got is a loaner. Ain't nothing you don't we don't really even own anything because we don't own ourselves. You know, everything is temporary, but the word of God said heaven and earth will pass away, but my word will still stand. The word, the word, the word. Get into the word. And I'm gonna tell you, at first, it may seem when you get ready to change your life, it seems like when you're ready for a change and you want to have that relationship with the God. Let me tell you, I'm warning you straight up. Things are gonna come at you. People gonna come at you. Situations gonna happen. You're gonna get discouraged. However, if you keep your hand in the hand of the man that steals the water, parted the Red Sea, fed the 5,000 plus hungry souls with 2 fish, 5 loaves of bread, that was in the lion's den with Daniel, that was in the fiery furnace with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. If you stay still and believe and have faith enough to look at that mountain and say, move mountain, and that mountain will move. Just grow in grace, grow in love, grow in God. It'll be the best decision that you could ever make. Then you don't worry about what the people say. You don't worry about what the people do because God could go places that you can't go. God can hear conversations that you haven't heard. But one thing about God, He ain't gonna keep no secret from you. God ain't gonna keep nothing from you that will hurt you or nothing that will build you or nothing that's gonna keep you. Because when God is in love with you, when God is in love with you, and God is holding your hand and you holding God's hand back, I'm telling you, there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you cannot be, and there's nothing that you cannot have. So that's all I want to say. I want everybody to have a very beautiful uh, holiday. Be safe. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Be be encouraged today, and be encouraging to someone else. Be blessed, because this is the day that the Lord has made especially for you. And don't worry about what you have no control over. Don't worry about what you don't got no control over. Smile, because it makes you beautiful. It makes you beautiful, and it helps the skin not to sag when you smile. Just saying. Just saying. I'm starting to walk in the morning. This word is what I listen to while walking. It just made me feel good. And I'm glad, because you deserve it. You deserve it. Have you ever seen a U-Haul ride behind a hearse? We can't take nothing. Mm, 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 mm. Not nothing. Not nothing. Nothing. Oh, naked you came. You may be clothed when you leave, but you already done said it. You already know. So I'm gonna say, I just want y'all to have a safe weekend, have a safe holiday, and have fun. And earlier this week, I was talking about the movie The Forge. If you have not seen that, you know what? Plan to go see that. If you have to go just see it by yourself, do that. Make a date with yourself. Make a date with yourself one of these days, today, tomorrow, Sunday, or even Monday. But go see this movie, and it'll help you so much. It'll give you so much. There is so many nuggets in this movie. I think I want to go and see it again. The Forge. It's in theaters now, and it is a Christian based. It's a Christian based movie, so it ain't that cursing. It ain't all that old kind of stuff in there. It's a very enlightening movie, and like I said, if you got sons, grandsons, nephews, little cousins, whatever, you make a date with them and y'all just go to this movie and sit down, watch this movie, and then have a conversation to see where our young men, our young boys' head heads are. And if you got a nephew, grandchildren, whatever, that's in school right now and they're participating in something, show your support. I bought a cutting board for my granddaughter, and I try to support her in any little endeavors that she's doing with the candy, with what all kind of stuff, knowing I don't need the candy, knowing I don't want some of the stuff that she's selling, but I'll buy it anyway, just to give them support. So we got to support our children, we got to support each other, but we got to also support ourselves and talking to ourselves kindly and loving on ourselves. So just for this day, blessings and love and everything. I want y'all, because I want everybody back here Monday. I just want to hear that everybody had a good weekend. The holidays was the best. And look, it's Friday. It's Friday, y'all. I'm smiling, ain't working, but you know what? I got to get up off of here, because at 10:30, y'all, I decided to join a gym. So this morning I'm going to do a tour of the gym. My friend, she done already joined. So now I had made my appointment for today. And it's at 10 o'clock. Oh, it's at 10 o'clock that I gotta be there. I thought it was 10:30. So I really gotta go. And I got to let her know it's at 10 o'clock that my tour of the gym. So I'm trying to be good to myself, and y'all be good to y'all self. Peace out, deuces. I holler. And when I holler, holler back. Bye.